You can change the layout of the windows in MATLAB that we just discussed, and you can make MATLAB highly customizable to your specific desires. To do this, you have to use the layout menu, which is right here. You can select different layouts, different predefined layouts. We are currently in the default layout. We can also have two columns layout, which will move the variables, the workspace, we'll move them in the bottom left corner below the current folder. So this is our current folder, this is our workspace, and we have the rest of the space for the command window. We also have all but command window minimized, so we can have windows minimized. We will talk about this in a second. When you click on them, you get to view them, but when you click somewhere else, when your focus changes, they are hiding back. Now, each of these windows can be docked or undocked from the arrow on the upper right corner of each window. As you can see, each of the windows has these arrows. So, what is docking and undocking? If I press undock now, this window gets separated from your default MATLAB workspace and it becomes in an individual window by itself. So you can maximize it and work only in the command window. You can alternate between the two windows with the Alt and Tab shortcut. It simply makes each of these windows individual. You can dock it again in the exact same way. Right? Click on the arrow and select dock. It will go right back to its original place. Windows can also be minimized or maximized. So from the same arrow you can choose minimize, which will hide this window, and you will get a small button for this window right here. If you hover over it or if you click it, you will get this window opened. If you move out of focus, it will change. You can minimize this as well. So you can have minimized windows on both sides. You can restore them by clicking again on the same arrow and choosing restore. Now you can also maximize windows, which will simply make this window as big as it can get, and it will be above the rest of the windows. Here you can see that we have some window that is hidden underneath our maximized command window. If we click it, we will get it. We will see it. Now, if you don't like any of these layouts or settings, and if you have just created a tragedy with your layout, you can go back to the default layout from the layouts menu, as we saw earlier. And from the same menu, you can show or hide different windows. Currently, we're viewing everything, but you can hide some of these windows. So if we don't want the current folder, we can hide it from here, or we can show it again. We can also, now this is something that I find useful at times, you can change the place of the current folder toolbar. So if you change it to inside current folder, you will free up some vertical space, and this is where the current folder toolbar will get moved to. Now, depending on your screen size and resolution, you may want to change the font size of your code. This code, it's big enough, but I prefer to work with a bit bigger code. So you can click here on the preferences menu, and from the preferences you select MATLAB, then fonts. And here you can change the font itself, you can change some font styles, or you can change the size. I will change my size to 14 for the moment, so it will be better for you. Maybe I can go even a bit higher, 18, so that you can better see what's going on, but generally I like to work with either 12 or 14. Now, with all of the things that we just discussed, let me show you my preferred workspace layout, because you not only are able to dock, undock and hide these windows, you can also move them. If you click on a given window and you hold the left mouse button, as you can see, we can move it, and the marked up space that we are currently viewing is the space that this window will occupy if you let it go. So if I let it, my command window above the workspace, as you can see, it currently takes only half of the space, it doesn't take the whole space. These windows will get one on top of the other. Now, since when we do this, there is nothing here, there is no other space here, they will stretch horizontally to fill in that space. I like to have my command window in my top right corner, but there are a few other modifications that I want to do. So I also want to move my current folder down here, on this side. And I also want to include my code editor here. So I'm going to open it from new script and I am going to dock it first. And it immediately went to the space where I wanted it, but I want to minimize this a bit like this and increase my command window size. All right, this is my preferred layout. Most of the time we're working with the code editor itself, we're creating our scripts, we're working with different files. Here I can open as many files as I want, or I can even separate the two files here and work on two files simultaneously. But I also have access to my command window, my workspace, and my current folder. Now, after you have created your layout, in this case my layout, you can save it. Again, go back to the home menu up here, select layout and select save layout. So my layout. This way, if you want to experiment and try out different layouts, so if I want to go back to the default layout, I can do it. And if I want to go back to my layout, I simply select my layout. This way you can save different layouts and experiment with them until you find the one that you like. I highly encourage you to experiment and find the one that will fit your needs. Just because I like this layout and it is more productive for me, it doesn't mean that you will like it or find it just as productive. You don't have to have all your windows displayed. You may use the editor in a separate undocked window and not be distracted by anything else. You may not get it right the first time, so just experiment until you find the right combination. Don't forget to save your different layouts so that you can alternate between them until you find the one for you.